Well, instead of picking out back-to-school stationery or finding their place in the schoolyard pecking order, hundreds of pupils still don't have a place to learn in Gauteng. And Sadtu says the situation could get worse, especially in the Western Cape. It says over 4,000 of them haven't secured a spot yet. Masego Rahlaga is in Johannesburg and Ronald Masinda is in Cape Town following the story for us. Ronald, we're going to start with you. You've been speaking to disgruntled parents in Cape Town. What are they saying?
Shahan, well, we spoke to several disgruntled parents and guardians who say that they've been given the runaround since last year. I mean, one grandparent of a 6-year-old child says that since July she's been trying to get the grandchild into Sonwabo Primary, but without no luck. And she says that she wants the child to go, or the grandchild to go to the school, as it is a walking distance for her. But what is a surprise and a shocking story that we heard from Mitchell's Plain, and this is from Beacon Hill Secondary High School, is that when we covered a story last year of a Tamir Mitchell, a teenager, was gunned down in a drive-by shooting, the story that we heard from the acting principal is that the very next day there were actually parents queuing up outside of the school asking the school principal whether or not there was a space for one of their children, since Tamir Mitchell had passed away. And this was quite a surprise, and it probably speaks a lot to the crisis some of these schools face. And we know that in Mitchell's Plain, at that particular school, there's quite a number of students who will be attending school this year. They are expecting 1,300 pupils at the school, with 36 teachers taking care of those children. We heard from the acting principal, Marisha Benjamin, and this is what she had to say.
However, we have accommodated other people from other schools that didn't apply, because our circuit manager contacted the school principals asking them to help out with the learners that was in place December, and then we took in additional 40 grade 8 learners. And then besides the grade 8 learners, there are other learners from grade 9 to grade 11 that was also looking for place.
And naturally, this is a problem we've seen happen for years now. Sadtu is not impressed by that.
Yes, indeed. While they're not impressed, they say at least over the past 10 years, around 10,000 pupils are unplaced at Western Cape schools. And they say that the Western Cape government has done very little to address this issue. They flagged this issue around December when they found out that around 3,600 pupils were unplaced. At least 3,000 of them were supposed to start grade 8. And the danger, they say, is that a lot of the children or the pupils that are unplaced tend to miss school terms, around 2 terms per year, which is major cause for concern. And that this is despite the Western Cape Education Department releasing a statement this year saying that, well, today in fact, saying that they want schools to return to full capacity. So that to say this is merely impossible, given that a lot of the schools will be overcrowded, which makes it very difficult for social distancing. We heard from Jonovan Ruston earlier, the provincial secretary, and this is what he had to say.
Year on year, we have approximately over 10,000 learners unplaced. In December this year, 3,000 odd learners were not placed, with the emphasis on grade 1 and on grade 8. Now, we're saying that the long-term planning of the department is not up to scratch.
So what's the response from the department in the Western Cape to these claims?
Well, the department is adamant that things are improving slowly but surely, because this time last year they say at least 14,000 pupils were unplaced, and today they were saying that at least 4,000 pupils are unplaced. But the challenge for them is that a lot of parents apply late for pupils. They say that year on year around 18 to 20,000 unregistered pupils approach the department wanting space, and the department can not accommodate for so many people given the limited budget that they are under. The department also says that around 86% of that budget is catered for its own personnel, and that infrastructure is a very difficult thing to make sure that a lot of the kids that are attending the 1,500 schools are attended to. Bronner Hammond had this to say earlier when I spoke to her.
We have approximately 18 to 20,000 learners that come into this province every year that were unregistered the previous year. So obviously we have to focus our attention on trying to place those learners and also build the infrastructure that can accommodate them. But the problem is there that the budget needs to come with that, and we already are diverting 86% of our budget to just our personnel, and only 14% can then go towards other issues.
All right, let's move over to Gauteng. Masego Rahlaga is following this angle of the story for us. So we saw parents, of course, still frustrated out today, but the department issuing a statement a short while ago, Masego, saying that it's managed to bring that number of students still to be placed down to just under 600.
596 to be exact, Shahan. That is for the grade 1 and grade 8 pupils. Those are the ones whose parents applied online last year. So 596 from 700 yesterday, Shahan. That means the department has been able to place, and I mean, you can help me with the math, but I think it's about 104 pupils between yesterday and today that have been placed. The department's MEC, Bangazadi Sufi, in a statement saying that he's concerned about parents who are first of all applying late, and also the concern about parents who are going to the district offices saying that they want to appeal where their kids have been placed at. So those parents not liking the school that they've been placed at. We saw a lot of scenarios, Shahan, of parents, for instance. We spoke to one parent who says that he didn't apply last year, and that was because he thought he'd still have a job this year. Unfortunately, COVID hit, and his daughter, who was attending at a private school, now has to go into the public school system, and that is why he found himself at the district office. But also there were weird incidences, and you'll see in this small snippet that we're going to show you and the viewers, of a parent who says she received an SMS confirming that her grade 1 daughter was accepted at a certain school that she was happy about because her son, who is older, attends the same school. But unfortunately, when she went there yesterday for day 1 of the 2022 academic year, they told her that her daughter is not in the system. This is after she spent money, Shahan, on school uniforms, stationery, because this is everything that she had received, in fact, from the school on Monday. So she's perturbed, obviously, at what happened between Monday and yesterday when suddenly her child, her name does not reflect at that particular school. But here's a snippet of a summary of what I saw, particularly at the Morningside district office.
Thursday was day 2 of Gauteng parents still unable to find placement at school for their children. They spent several hours in long queues, frustrated. One parent had received an SMS saying her daughter had been accepted at a school of her choice for grade 1. She was happy about that. But when she took her daughter for her first day of school, she was told her name doesn't reflect on the list.
All right, our reporters following that story, Masego Rahlaga in Johannesburg, Ronald Masinda is in Cape Town.